Hello YouTube world, and welcome back to my channel that serves literally no purpose besides giving you guys some mediocre entertainment and bringing me joy. So, as you can tell, I'm getting over a cold. Don't worry, it wasn't COVID, but I'm just in that stage where I just sound so congested. Whatever, it is what it is. So in today's video, I talked about a lot of different topics: work, dating, YouTube, and I also discussed depression. So if that's triggering for you guys, just skip this video, and I will see you in a different video. That's totally fine. But if you want to hear about that wide range of topics, then just keep watching. Okay, so I only went and did my brows off camera because I literally have to be like 2 inches from the mirror when I do my eyebrows, and they're honestly just a hot mess express, baby. Like, they are so hairy right now, but yet they're still like not hairy enough to completely reshape them. So I'm like, oh, don't pluck anything, don't pluck anything, don't pluck anything. Besides like maybe my unibrow, you know. As you can hear, I have been sick the past week. It's not COVID. I swear when like I finally get hit with like so much motivation to film, it's like something like this happens, or I have some technological freaking mess that like impedes me from going ham and going full force like at it. But you know, I was like, whatever, I really don't care. I'm gonna film because I literally haven't filmed in like a month. I know. Literally, I never, and I know it's always so easy to say like I never intended for it to be that long, but like I genuinely never intend to have month gaps in between uploading, but I feel like I always do. But I think now, because you guys know I work a regular 9 to 5, and after work I literally just want to pass out. Like, I'm not even kidding. The last thing I want to do, that's probably why I got sick, because I've just been so exhausted. Yeah, but after work, like, I just don't want to do anything. So I feel like I was just like in this cycle of like self-sabotage where I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna film a video this weekend, and then something would pop up that weekend. I'd be like, oh, it's fine, I can just film during the week, like, I got it. But I say that, and then after work, I just pass out. So it was like last 4 weeks were very full of like self-sabotage, saying I was gonna do something and then I didn't. But we're done and through with that. I am not doing that anymore. I am buckling down because I'm tired of not putting out content. That was a little much. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. We're good. Yeah, I'm like, I am through. I literally took out my planner. I planned out Sundays most likely are gonna be my film day, because I can, if I want to go out with friends and stuff like that, which I don't have any, but let's just saying imaginary that I have friends and that some plans pop up or something like that, then I can do that Saturday and then wake up Sunday and film all day. And then editing is not that big of a problem for me during the week, because it'll take like an hour and a half to edit if it's not like a super long video. I can usually not self-sabotage myself in that regard, where I will actually edit the video during the week. But also, I just felt like I was very much just judging my content too much. Like, people always say you have to find your niche, and when you find your niche is how you'll grow super quickly on YouTube. At this point, I don't really care to grow on YouTube. It's not like the end-all be-all for me. I've come to realize like you can't make one thing in your life your everything, because your happiness and a lot of how you're doing depends on the outcome of that one thing. So it can't be my everything. It can't make or break my life if that ever happens or not. So I kind of just stopped caring about finding a particular niche and stuff like that. But then I was also just still very critical on my content of just being like, okay, well, my content still has to be informational for you guys. It still has to provide some sort of purpose. And I've just come to realize, like, I just don't think that's my kind of content. Like, on my channel is a big shithole of just like random content. Like, this is my life type of situation. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's good. That's fine too. I totally respect that. I'm not for everyone, and no one should be for everyone. But I've come to that realization now. Back then, when I would consistently have like large gaps between videos, was because I was just so critical on my content, and I feel like I've just come to realize, like, this is the kind of content I enjoy filming, and not everything has to have some grand, this is how you do this, or, you know, I don't know if I'm explaining this the right way. I hope it makes sense. I've just learned that that's not my content. My content is not gonna be super informational. Oh, I definitely got that in my hair. Super informative, super... Damn it, I keep getting this in my hair. Yeah, that's just not my content, and I'm okay with that now. Also, something that I'm kind of baffled by, I started a TikTok. Like, never in my 22, almost 23 years of life would I have thought I would do that. I don't know why. I just always thought I was way too old for it. But also, I think it's just, again, that like hypercritical part of myself that was just always talking myself out of it. Always talking myself out of everything. I don't know why. I thoroughly enjoy making content on there. It's so fun. I never thought I would be a short form content person, but I don't know, something about it is just so fun. Also, I never really ever promote my social medias just because I don't use them very much. Like, besides, I mean, I just got on TikTok, so it could be like the newness of it and why I've been posting a lot on there. But my other social medias, I really don't ever post. I have a Snapchat. I never use that. I have Instagram. I don't ever really post on there either. Sorry. Just hair was like really weird. That one I would say I use more to scroll through and like find inspiration for like clothes and outfits and stuff like that. But I don't ever really like use it. For sure I don't ever post on it. So that's why I don't ever really promote it, because I'm like, what is the point of promoting my social medias to you guys when I don't use them? And also, I just feel like Instagram has lost its appeal for me. It's not like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not that it's a super boring app, because it's not. And I know I can change this by just stepping out of that mentality, but I feel like on Instagram there's so much pressure for your content to look so perfect, so it's just not as fun to me anymore. That self-induced pressure just makes it not fun for me. I don't know. And I know I could change that, but it's just not a fun app for me. I do use Pinterest though a lot. Again, to find like inspiration for clothes and stuff like that. I feel like for the most part though, I'm usually on YouTube watching content, watching the most random stuff. That's probably definitely the app I use the most on my phone. Other than that, yeah, I had just been so down since I got back from vacation, just because, I don't know, it's always, I mean, for me, most of the time, it's always like you just have post-vacation blues, where you're just like, oh, back to reality, back to work, back to paying bills, and I mean, not that you weren't paying bills on vacation, but like, you know, it's just a different like atmosphere. You feel so relaxed, like, oh my god, I feel like that's the first vacation that I genuinely just felt so relaxed while I was there, like did not have a worry in the world. It makes me want to work harder to make that my reality. And I don't mean in the sense like, oh, I'm forever on vacation, because no, I still want a place to call home and to have my routine, because I do also love routine. I mean like in the sense where financially and time-wise, I can just pick up and go on vacation whenever I want to. I don't have to plan it out. I mean, it's always good to plan it out because you want to be prepared. But like, I don't have any boundaries or barriers stopping me from being able to do that. Opposed to right now that I just have a lot of bills and work and responsibilities that keep me from being able to do that. And financially, I cannot just hop on a plane right now and go on vacation as much as I wish I could. Anyway, when I got back home from vacation, it was just like that like sluggish feeling of like, okay, back to work we go, back to only having weekends off and not being able to just come up with my day as I go. Also, when I think about it, I very much am so happy. Like, I'm just so happy and at peace with the way things have played out in my life. I don't know how to explain it. I know I was just talking about like post-vacation blues, but at the same time, I very much am just, yeah, so at peace and happy with the way things have played out in my life. I'm so grateful for all the shitty jobs that I have worked, because you just learn so much. And honestly, I think working at any sort of customer service job just makes you a much nicer person, because you know what it's like to be treated like shit for absolutely no fucking reason besides the fact that unfortunately you had that job, you were in that role at that time of that day, and you just learn so much by working customer service. And I mean, I would hope most people learn a lot. I sure did. It just teaches you how to be a more empathetic person, because you're like, damn, I remember being there. It fucking sucked. People were so rude, so mean, for absolutely no reason. Back to main topic, because I feel like I've definitely rambled off into an abyss there. Yeah, I am just so at peace and happy and grateful for the way everything has played out in my life. Yeah, I'm just so at peace with how everything has played out in my life to bring me to this moment right here, where like I finally don't feel like I'm chasing this unrealistic life that you see on social media. For so long, I feel like that was very much a big contributing factor to my depression, where I would just constantly compare my life to everyone else's, and not even like just famous people, like people I went to school with, just wondering like, why couldn't I have the experience that they're having? All this bullshit, really. And now I finally like am just so at peace and content with where I'm at in life and how things are going. Like, not everything is perfect, trust me. A lot of things could be better, but I have just chosen to not focus on the negative and focus on the good things that are going on in my life, and honestly just be grateful for the good things that are going on in my life. And it, oh my god, has it taken so much work to get to this point. But it's just like, now that I'm here, it's like, wow, wow. It's just, you always see those like accounts and people always just giving you the advice of like, don't compare yourself to other people, don't compare yourself to other people, blah, blah. But I think it just clicks for everyone at a different point in their life. And I think it took, like, for some reason, it just clicked for me this past year or this year. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you when it clicked, but it did. And I'm so glad and grateful it did. Jesus, I didn't mean to get so deep in this conversation. I just look back to where and how I felt 4 years ago, 5 years ago, like 18-year-old me, and I'm like, oh my God, the amount of growth that I have encountered in those 4 or 5 years. I don't know. I haven't done math in who knows how long. But yeah, it's like so crazy to me because I was so depressed during that time. And to now, like, I literally could not imagine a point in my life where I was this happy consistently. Like, yeah, you would have a good day here and there while you were depressed, but consistently I could not, like, it was impossible. There was no way that was gonna happen. And now to be experiencing that, it just like blows my mind. Like, I just wanted, when I was stuck in like my super dark depression, all I wanted was to take a sneak peek into the future and see that it was possible. To see that at some point in my life I would be happy. Whew. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional about this, but that's all I want. Like, literally, that's all I prayed for, was just to be able to read a book, like take a sneak peek into the future and see myself happy, like consistently happy, and know that it really did get better. And obviously that's not possible, but that was all I wanted. And now that I don't want to say I'm like freed from my depression, because obviously it's just something you're going to struggle with for the rest of your life. But I would just, like, if there was a magical way that I could have had that moment where I looked into the future and saw myself this happy 4 or 5 years down the line, I'd probably just tell her, like it's worth it. Keep fighting through every single day. Keep going. Because you will be happy. I am so sorry, y'all. I did not mean to get that fucking deep, but I do stop and think well, not all the time, but I'd say pretty often, to when I used to be so depressed, but I never reflected on it, I guess you could say. Like, I'd just be like, damn, she was a depressed bitch back then. But now that I'm like really reflecting on it and just, whew, it's a lot. But we're here now, and that's all I'm grateful for. Life is good. Another point in my life that I've just become very content with is being single. Before, I used to just always, again, back to when I was very depressed, constantly comparing myself to everyone else on my social media feed. I just was always like, why can't I get in a relationship? Like, why am I not in a relationship? Like, what is wrong with me? And honestly, now that I look back at it, I am so fucking glad that I stayed single during my formative years, because I feel like while you're becoming an adult, it's not that it's impossible to be in a relationship, but I just think it makes your own growth so much harder because you're attached to this other person. So some of the growth that you could be experiencing, I feel like, could just be influenced from them. While in some situations that might be a really good thing because you have a really good person influencing your life, I feel like in other situations it could be a really bad thing because they're not influencing you in the right way. And now it's like, I'm grown. I know exactly what I want. Like, oh my gosh, I watched this video by Maddie Drawspikes. She explains it so perfectly. I will never be able to do justice to how she explained it, but well, I would say we have similar like dating experiences, where like we haven't really been in a serious relationship. Throughout most of our formative years, we've been single, and at most of the time, I wouldn't say most of the time, but at certain points you're like, yeah, damn, I fucking want a boyfriend. For some reason or another, it didn't happen, and I'm so glad it didn't. I am really weird where like, honestly, within like the first encounter of meeting someone, I can tell whether I genuinely like them or not. I don't know if that's for how it's like for most people, but like, I mean, within like literally the first 24 hours, I can tell like, no, no, this is not gonna work out, or being like, dude, I'm fucking head over heels for you. There's no in between for me. Literally none whatsoever. Either I'm like, damn, you're boring as fuck, or literally I want to talk to you every second of the day. Where I'm going with this is that now, like, because I guess we could say forced, partially I'd like to think it was my doing and not just the universe, I don't know, but because I guess have forced myself to spend my formative years alone and single, it has really made me just be okay with being by myself. And now I fucking love being by myself. Like, I genuinely enjoy my own company. I genuinely enjoy doing things for myself. I don't rely on another person for dopamine or serotonin. Like, I can give all of that to myself, and I genuinely know like what I want and what I'm looking for in another person, and now I'm not gonna settle for anything less than that. Not that I ever did before, but I just think it wasn't necessarily like, it wasn't entirely, oh, this person isn't good enough for me. It was also like, I always just was like, oh, I have too many issues of my own to be getting into a relationship with another person and then just imposing my issues on that person. Like, my way of thinking is just unique, let's put it at that. But now that I'm like, a relationship, I wouldn't mind being in a relationship now, but because I'm so certain of who I am and what I want and the person I want to be, I'm not gonna settle for the first person that slides in my DMs, if that makes sense. And also, because I enjoy my own company so much, I don't feel like I need another person by my side 24/7. I feel like there was another point that I was trying to make, but I have completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, point being, I thoroughly enjoy being single, and I'm okay that like I'm 22 years old and I've never been in like a serious relationship. Why? Because I don't want to get in a serious relationship with just anyone. That shit ain't for me. I am healing my own trauma. I am not about to create some more with just getting in a relationship with the first person I see down the street. Not gonna happen. Also, I want to change that chalk drawing in the background, but I just don't even know what to change it to. Like, and it takes so much work to change that. Like, whew. Anyway, I'm back. I finished my makeup. I really just put on mascara and lip liner and lip gloss. But that's it for today's video. I am sure that is way more than what you guys asked for. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from this video. Peace and blessings, and I'll see you guys in the next one.